Welcome to our Modi briefing. Today, we're diving into the tense and emotional situation unfolding in the Kashmir valleys, caught between India and Pakistan. The region is filled with grief and fear, especially after recent deadly clashes and militant attacks. Personal stories like Malik Khadim's, a Pakistani farmer mourning his brother, highlight how civilians are caught in the crossfire, with frequent shootings disrupting daily life. The ongoing conflict, marked by expulsions, closed airspace, and political threats, keeps everyone on edge, fearing escalation into full-scale war. In a surprising turn, Iran's top diplomat has stepped into the scene, visiting Pakistan to mediate tensions after the Kashmir attack. Both India and Pakistan are on high alert, with Pakistan denying involvement and testing missiles as a defensive measure. Diplomatic talks are underway, but the region remains fragile, with international calls for restraint. The situation is delicate, and everyone's watching closely to see if this crisis can be de-escalated. Meanwhile, in Indian-administered Kashmir, families like Sheikhala's are still waiting for justice. The aftermath of the Pahalgam attack has led to mass arrests and prolonged detention of political prisoners, including loved ones detained under strict laws like the UAPA. Despite promises of political progress, many families face ongoing uncertainty, with loved ones transferred far from home and denied visits. The escalating violence and detention practices deepen the despair, making hopes for peace seem further out of reach. Please continue to stay tuned for more detailed updates. CNN vividly captures the profound grief and ongoing tension in Kashmir, a region scarred by decades of conflict between India and Pakistan. Malik Khadim, a Pakistani farmer living near the line of control, exemplifies the human toll of this enduring dispute. His brother's mysterious disappearance and subsequent death amid accusations of involvement in a terror plot highlight the deep personal losses inflicted on civilians. The region's rugged terrain, with snow-capped peaks and treacherous mountain paths, underscores the difficulty of asserting control and achieving military victory. Both nations fiercely desire dominance over the water resources and strategic land, yet the terrain's brutality ensures no clear victor emerges. Daily exchanges of fire and the threat of escalation loom large, with residents living in constant fear of violence, exemplified by stories of Indian troops shooting at villagers attempting to tend to their livestock. The political climate remains volatile, with India's retaliatory actions after the Pahalgam massacre fueling fears of full-scale war, while Pakistan's military remains on high alert, warning of potential Indian aggression and conducting missile tests. Diplomatic efforts, including Iran's mediation, offer fragile hope, but the region's history of hostility and mistrust continues to threaten peace, making Kashmir a symbol of unresolved conflict and human suffering. The Toronto Star provides a poignant look into the political and the human consequences of the Kashmir conflict, focusing on the plight of political prisoners and the impact of violence on families. Following the deadly attack in Pahalgam, Indian authorities intensified their crackdown, detaining hundreds of Kashmiris under anti-terror laws like the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, UAPA, and the Public Safety Act, PSA. Families, such as Sheikhala's, waiting anxiously for their loved ones' release, face despair as hopes for political prisoners' freedom diminish amidst rising violence and military tensions. Sheikhala's son Faiziab has been detained since 2022, caught in a legal system that often keeps detainees in indefinite limbo without trial, far from their homes and loved ones. The region's political landscape remains fraught, with elections promising change but delivering little tangible relief for detainees and their families. Despite pledges from local politicians to prioritize prisoner releases, the ongoing conflict heightened security measures, and retaliatory policies, like the suspension of water-sharing treaties, deeply entrenched the sense of abandonment among Kashmir's residents. The persistent detentions, coupled with the military's heavy-handed approach, continue to fuel resentment and alienation, illustrating how the cycle of violence and repression perpetuates the suffering of Kashmir's people. Al Jazeera sheds light on the human cost of the escalating violence, emphasizing the emotional toll on families and the broader political stalemate. The attack in Pahalgam has not only heightened military alertness, but also intensified fears of further repression and conflict. Families like Sheikhlas and Ishrats, whose relatives are detained far from home under draconian laws, grapple with despair and helplessness. The detention of thousands under laws like PSA and the transfer of prisoners to distant facilities have made familial visits nearly impossible, deepening their anguish. Promises made during elections to release political prisoners remain unfulfilled, as the region's political landscape is overshadowed by security crackdowns, demolitions of alleged rebel hideouts, and a tense diplomatic environment. The Pakistani military's missile tests and accusations of Indian provocations further escalate the crisis, while international figures call for restraint. Amidst this turmoil, Kashmir's residents endure a cycle of violence, political stagnation, and personal loss, with many questioning whether the region's wounds will ever truly heal or if the cycle of conflict will continue to define their lives.
Thank you for tuning in.
The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopsis thoughtfully curated by the 6DO team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6DO Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6DO team embodies a trail-blazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6DO Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6DO Brief via email.